What up? This is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Wonder Woman 1984. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. I was a huge fan of the 2017 movie Wonder Woman. I thought it was badass and all around excellent. And that's always the toughest one to dissect, isn't it? When a movie ain't bad or ain't great either. Now, don't get me wrong, there are parts about it that I enjoy, which I will further elaborate in this review. But for the most part, the whole Diana and Steve Trevor drama is so mind-numbing and exhausting, and it's like beating a dead horse. Not to mention the runtime is about 10 minutes longer than its predecessor. In my opinion, the supporting performances are strong, especially Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig. Now, whether the script gives their respective characters too much or not enough to go on is a whole other argument. From visual spectacle standpoint, there's a lot about Wonder Woman 1984 that can easily wow you. I'm just not too blown away by the arc and the themes and the character development, but hey, perhaps I'm alone on this. Written by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns and David Callahan, based on DC characters, and directed by Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot returns in the title role Wonder Woman in this sequel that fast forwards to the 1980s as our lead heroine finds herself facing two new foes, Max Lord and the Cheetah, co-starring Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, Kristen Wiig as the Cheetah, Pedro Pascal as Max Lord, Robin Wright as Antiope, and Connie Nielsen as Hippolyta. Definitely what I enjoy the most about this film are its first two big set pieces on the Themyscira Island and at the mall. They have that vibe that's reminiscent of Richard Donner's first Superman movie. I don't know if that's intentional, but director Patty Jenkins did a great job on those parts, especially with the cinematography that takes us to several immersive places and angles that make us feel as if we are in the middle of all that commotion. The hero moments and the randomly saving people moments definitely take you back to the good old days of Christopher Reeve. Much of that is also thanks to the ever so consistent and ever so dependable composer Hans Zimmer, whose music here does have that throwback feel to it. As far as the 80s era goes, I know some people have praised this movie for it. I think it does okay. I mean, I would argue that Stranger Things does a better job at capturing the 80s. So this film's comedic attempt at the expense of leg warmers or baggy jeans just doesn't necessarily get me chuckling. The actions are very well choreographed and very well shot. This film knows how to capture Gal Gadot in all her glory, and it doesn't apologize for it, which is awesome. This woman who's comfortable in her skin and embraces her prowess, and she carries herself with strength and confidence, and Gal Gadot has all of that in spades, and she knows how to work the camera. It's obvious that Wonder Woman 1984 also wants to tackle sexism in the 80s. It's not subtle in the way it does it, but overall, I have no problem with it. Now, let's get to the story. This movie falls into the same formula that most sequels suffer from, which is it presents multiple villains, resulting in one outshining the other, or you end up picking favorites. Again, as I implied earlier, performance-wise, Pedro and Kristen are both marvelous, and they are very committed to their roles. And I don't mind that the script alters or tweaks Cheetah's origin story in order to fit the overarching arc. But between Pedro behaving like a frantic genie and Kristen going through the generic process or evolution of becoming a villain, from woe is me to I'll show them all, and suddenly somehow flashes of Bruce Almighty granting everybody their prayers come flashing through my brain like flood. I wanted something more, but Wonder Woman 1984 settles for playing it too safe and too familiar. And I also feel that the way the ending tries to tie into Robin Wright's message at the beginning just seems a bit of a stretch. Do I hate Wonder Woman 1984? No, no, of course not. But I think this is one of those movies where it's kind of like Man of Steel. First time watching it, you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. But after second or third viewing, you'll start noticing its flaws. And that's what Wonder Woman 1984 is to me.